Hello! In that video I'll try to fix another 3 Philips SONICARE toothbrush. About a year ago I make a video how I repair my SONICARE brush. You may already seen it, as it saw some nice lady with 2 broken toothbrush. She has contacted me that fixing is too difficult for her, but still don't want to throw them away. So she offered it to me for the parts. Well done, I said, why to throw expensive broken stuff away without trying to repair them? I pay her for postage and for a few coffees. But then I received box with dual SONICARE black diamond, charging station, glass, traveling charging case, papers, just everything what come with. I feel like I stole something. And later I got another classic SONICARE from a friend. After a year into drawer it's time to repair them. Here I got some parts from last time, but the main parts are broken, so check where the problem is. First, classic SONICARE works, but it clearly feels that it's got no vibrating power. What about black diamond? Also that one works, but if I just touch the head axis it's stall. And second black diamond? Oh my god, it's so loud and the head just freely moving around. To repair the brushes I need small flat screwdriver, small cross screwdriver, tweezers, small pliers, bigger plier, piece of towel, very important, thread lock and alcohol for cleaning. Then I also use small grinder for more efficient cleaning and soldering iron. Let's try to open now the first black diamond. That type of brush is a bit harder to open like classic one, but it go. Firstly wrap the towel around the brush housing and with parrot pliers squeeze the housing a bit, so the water stone and other dirt release bottom cover from the housing. Squeeze all around, but don't be too strong. When you squeeze on two sides you should see the tiny gap on other two sides. Then push tiny flat screwdriver into gap about 2 mm deep and try to remove the cover with them. Gently repeat on all 4 sides until you get out the cap. Just be sure that don't push screwdriver too deep, otherwise you'll damage the cover seal and maybe the housing itself. You may do that better, but I make some damage on cover, but not big deal. Now push the head axis on table while with screwdriver unhook 2 hooks on narrow side of housing to get entire mechanism out. Well, that's the 2 hooks you need to release. When I pull out the mechanism I can instantly see the problem. Water leaks into housing, so aluminium parts was oxidized and the magnet is rusted to the coil. Look like also the coils slipped a bit forward, so it touched the magnet. All the parts looking good, so I'll just disassemble them and clean all the parts. We can see that the brush is assembled out of 2 main parts, electronic and battery and other vibrating mechanism. Between them is spring, which is under the pressure into housing to reduce vibration and noise. Rubber part on battery which prevent vibration on handle and noise can just pulled off and then split the 2 main parts. In that case it just pulled off, but normally we need to use screwdriver to release the hooks. You can see here we got 2 T-slots on steel part, where come hooked plastic parts under the circuit. But there are another 2 groove where come another plastic hook, which prevent plastic to slip out of the groove itself. To release the 2 hook we need to insert tiny flat screwdriver between the plastic and steel, somewhere in the middle dot on circuit, and then just pull and lift out of the groove. Then unsolder 2 wires from the coil. You can do that before or after splitting, because wires are long enough. Spring in the rubber simply pull off. And now we can see 2 screws on each side of coil. With that screw we set the clearance between the coil and magnet. I could just set the clearance and the toothbrush will work, but I will disassemble them a bit more and clean as much as I can. So I completely unscrew both screws and then bend the steel part a bit, so I can remove the coil. On front side I unscrew the one and only screw and unhook white plastic out of steel housing, so I remove entire head. Then I drive the parts into welded housing is okay. I hold the end of steel part where the head come with the pliers and turning a bit. If the magnet on other side moving and come back into middle position itself, everything is okay. Otherwise the steel parts inside is broken and you got nothing to do without spare parts. In that case everything is okay, so I just need to clean everything and assemble back together. To disassemble the head a bit more for cleaning, with pliers turn the plastic ring for 90 degrees and then pull it off the shaft. Now I can freely remove the rubber gasket and white plastic part and clean them. But when I tried to clean the rubber, I saw why the water leak into toothbrush, because it's damaged. But I got luck and got another seal into parts back. It's a bit dirty from water stone, but I don't clean them too much, so I don't damage also that one. When everything is cleaned, assemble the head back together and hook it to its place. Now take the special triangled aluminium washer and put it to its place, so the flat surface is toward the head. And now most important step, glue the screw with thread lock. I got one thread lock to prevent self-unscrewing, but vibration is biggest enemy to screws, so I take glue thread lock, which prevent unscrewing without preheat. I apply thread lock on nut and screw, but before applying clean the old thread lock from the screw. Then just screw and tight it well. There's almost every part designed so you can't mount it wrong. If you assemble it right, the axis is a bit tilted toward the housing. Also the coil got plastic teeth, which come hooked into steel housing, which got on one side 2 T-slot for hook the electronic part, and on other side is 1 T-slot, where the coil come hooked. When the coil is in position, align the steel back and mount the screws on both sides into coil, but not fully tighten, so we can set the clearance before. Magnet attract the coil with lot of power, so it's hard to set right clearance. For easier adjust, I take a piece of 0.2 mm copper and put it between, and then fully tighten both screws. When the screws are tightened, pull the caliber out, install spring on its place, hook the electronic part and solder the coil wires back on. But when I make a test, it didn't work properly. The clearance between magnet and coil was too small, so I bent the copper piece in half to get 0.4 mm caliber. Untie the screw, install caliber and tie the screws again. Remove the caliber and test. Okay, it worked like it should now. I check on good brush and 0.4 mm clearance between magnet and coil is just right. Bend the copper wires close to the brush and don't insert them into rubber groove. Into that groove come plastic housing. Before put the brush into housing, I clean it a bit more and remove the sticker, but also when cleaning with alcohol there stays some traces. Look like the sticker was there too many years. Then just insert entire brush into housing and push a bit so you hear the click, and be careful so the button is on same side. Before I install button cover, I heat damaged area a bit and squeeze before it cool down, and the damage become almost invisible. While install the cover, just be sure that 2 grooves are on same side, then just push until it click, and that's it, we got fully working toothbrush again. One down, 2 more to go. Let's check where the problem is on the loud one. This one I opened on the corners, and I think I'll make less damage on the cover. When I pulled the brush out of housing, something dropped on the floor. It was washer and screw from the head. I checked the brush anyway, but it really looked like new. I think that brush didn't work for long, because there's not even water stone on the head seal. I think that's one of most common fails on SONICARE toothbrush. Industry use screws with pre-dried thread lock on it, so you don't stick screw as much as if you add fresh thread lock. Anyway, all I need to do is apply new thread lock on nut and screw and tie the screw back to its place. Don't just screw without thread lock, because it will unscrew after 1 or 2 uses. And also glue the screw, leave the brush at least for a few hours, so thread lock dry and grab the screw. Assemble brush back together and I got another fully working SONICARE Black Diamond toothbrush. That was easy and quick fix. Now check the last classic SONICARE, where the problem is. It worked, but with very low power and vibration changing if I make force on axis. It smells of broken parts. Just for sure I completely disassembled the vibrating motor to see where exactly the problem is. More about that repair with replacing parts you can see in my other SONICARE video. We can see here that the magnet and other end of steel part where the head comes isn't in center, but it's tilted. That's shown broken steel part. Yup, one of hardened steel parts is broken, and unfortunately I got all the parts broken into my SONICARE parts bag. So I can only show you the fix which solves every problem on the motor for sure. That's even not the fix, but replacing. About a year ago I see the replacing motor on eBay for about $8 and I must buy it. I know I'll use it someday. It's complete motor with head, axis, seal and coil. I search now on eBay. There are a lot of parts, but the price rise a bit. And be careful, you can get entire motor with the head and seal for the same price as just the seal. I compare it a bit with the original motor. It's look the same, but I'm quite sure it's aftermarket motor. Also quick find a big fail. Axis is just freely moving, because screw isn't tight. I try to just tighten the screw, but I can't. Also untightening wasn't go without preheating. The problem is on a screw with pre-applied thread lock, which isn't allow fully tightening while assembly. So I apply fresh thread lock and use other screw. Then just solder new motor on the old electronic part and assemble the brush, and it worked just like new one. I'm really interested for how long. By the way, my brush I repaired into other video is still working, but it's much louder, because I didn't weld the steel housing part back together. Also here you can hear that the black one is even more quiet than classic, and I got feeling also more powerful. For the end I can try to show you why I come to broken parts. That part is made out of thin metal, which is hardened to the limit. So it's tough enough to transfer energy from magnet to shaft, but not too much, so it broke after first fall. For those who don't know about steel properties, we can compare that steel with the glass. It's hard, and we can bend it, but it can break quickly. So if the brush falls on the floor right on the axis, it's quite likely that steel part broken. Also if we make force on attached cleaning head, you can break it. So in traveling, every time remove the brush and use traveling case. Even when cleaning the teeth, don't push too much, because it's got better effect with low pressing, so brush can move it, not only bend on teeth. The classic one got problems with the rubber, which become molded. Right after I noticed trace of mold, I start wiping them, but then the rubber start peeling. So the best way is just gently soak up the water with a towel. I hope black one turned out better. There are also few words about that into manual, but who read them, right? That's it for today. I got now some fully working SONICARE brushes and some great Christmas gift. No, just kidding. Thanks for watching, like, share and subscribe if you like, and see you next time.